and also like going back, my childhood dream was to become an international lawyer.
За бүгдээрээ сайн байна уу? 3 дахь хэсэг маань хэлж байна. Ингээ өнөөдрийн дугаарт маань ингээ Jinyoung Sok гэдэг олон улсын арбитрийн шүүхэд ажилладаг солонгос иргэн байгаа. За, okay, this is our third session. Okay, could you tell us what kind of cases you're currently working on?
My casework is unfortunately confidential. So I cannot explain what exact cases I'm working on. However, to put generally, I provide legal advice to the Secretary General of the PCA and support the arbitral tribunals and parties in the PCA proceedings whenever the parties bring their dispute to the PCA. Mm-hmm. I engage in a lot of drafting, so a lot of writing. Research, right. And speaking engagements whenever the Secretary General and the Senior Legal Counsel directs me to do so. So I sometimes, whenever there are diplomats or some groups who visit the PCA, I also tend to give PCA presentations about the PCA history, and the general introduction to the PCA. So not only just the legal side, but as I said before, I engage in a lot of diplomatic and institutional activities, including administrative aspects of the work. So a lot of different activities going on in my caseload, but yeah, so I guess that's all I could share at this moment.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. I have one of my friends is also a lawyer in Mongolia, and he seems to be very busy. Yeah, like brain working all the time.
Yes.
I hope you get enough sleep and rest.
Yes. Yeah, I think people who tend to work in the law firms are generally much more busier because they have to cater into the clients a lot more. Yeah. I work at an institution, so my hour is a little better than the law firms. So yeah, I guess that's one other good part of me being a legal counsel at an organization.
Okay, yeah, that's wonderful. For you, you did your BA in economics now, and now you're in law field. So, how difficult was it for you to switch to the law side?
Well, so as I think in section 2, I mentioned that in the U.S., generally people, well, not generally, all people have to finish their undergraduate degree and then pursue law and legal education. Therefore, it doesn't really matter what major you take or what you graduate in for your BA in order to go to law school. I personally majored in economics. And one of the reasons I did that was because basically economics forms the basis of our society. In order to understand what's going on around the world, I thought economics, because they're the founding principles, it will help me understand not only the markets, but how different actors interact. So it was not difficult for me to transition over to law with my prior major. In between undergrad and law school, I also pursued a master's degree in London in international public policy. I was always fond of learning more about international affairs and international relations. So that's why I did my master's in international public policy. So everything sort of got related, like economics, like, and then international public policy, So it was more about policy making between different nation states, and then law, in particular international law. So for me, the transition was quite smooth. One of the other reasons why I decided to go to law school was that before entering law school, I had another option, and that was to do a PhD degree. Since I already had my master's in international public policy law, I could have pursued a PhD degree in the same field. However, there were several reasons that I chose law over a PhD, namely because law school only takes 3 years, whereas PhD programs would take much more. So, so in terms of time, going to law school was a more efficient route, and also like going back, my childhood dream was to become an international lawyer. So it's just very natural for me to, to just combine all my interests, my long-term goal, and pursue a legal education back in the States.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow. Thank you so much for your interview. And I think so many MIU graduates also watch our interview. So what would you want to say to them? Is there anything you want to get us catch up with you?
Yes. Well, I miss you all very much. It's been 11 years since I left Mongolia. Can you believe that?
Wow.
The last time I left Mongolia in June 2010. So almost 11 years. I know that all of you have grown into very important, productive people in your country, doing the best you can, and the year of my time that I spent with you really remains as a very special time. I really enjoyed my time in Mongolia, and I really, really, really want to revisit one day. It will be very interesting to meet up with all of you guys. And I would also be sorry for those who are not part of the MIU, but I would also be interested in doing a Zoom call if everyone is ready and is capable of joining. It will be very. I would be very happy to catch up with all of you. Lastly, I'm very, very proud of you all.
Thank you so much, Miksha. I think everybody who is hearing our interview, you're a graduate of MIU, TM, our professor. That'll be wonderful, actually. That's very nice. Very sweet. Okay, thank you so much. It's always also been a very blessing and rewarding for us to see our professors show us the examples of how we can go, or being an example for many young people. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for your time also that you've been in Mongolia. Okay, and that's the end of our third session. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us. We'll see you later. Bye.